Today with Digicel this Christmas.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Time check for you, 12 hours 2. My name is Amrita Koshal. It is now time for your main newscast. We will return with a rebroadcast of the Glenn Law Show shortly after the news. Guyana's oil to help double Exxon's global profits in 5 years as company manages to pay off $11 billion debt this year, according to CEO Woods. Come 2027, when Guyana is expected to be producing some 1 million barrels of oil per day, Exxon is projecting that its total earnings on the world market would by then be doubled. The announcements were made on Wednesday last when the company disclosed some of its corporate plans up to 2027, including a slashing of its overall capital expenditure from a pre-pandemic target of $35 billion annually to between $20 billion and $25 billion through to 2027. The plans, ExxonMobil said, position the company to double earnings and cash flow by 2027 versus 2019. According to the oil giant, much of its future spending will be focused on projects in Guyana, where the company has discovered vast reserves of crude in excess of 10 billion barrels of proven reserves thus far, with intensive drilling campaigns in train. It was noted that, to date, the company has repaid $11 billion in debt and expects to be comfortably within the range of its targeted debt to capital ratio of 20 to 25% by year end. Project cost overruns, a sign of gross mismanagement, according to PAC chairman. Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Jermaine Figuera, said that the government's constant request for additional funding to complete major projects is a key indicator of mismanagement and possible corruption. Figuera highlighted his concerns over recent media reports where Minister of Public Works Juan Edgehill said that more monies will be required to complete the Sheriff Mandela Road expansion project. He reminded that this project is being funded through an Inter-American Development Bank loan agreement that was signed by the incumbent administration in June 2012. Some $66.2 million was granted by the International Bank to the government. He pointed out that the project is now overdue by more than 2 years and has already exceeded its initial budget. In addition to this, the chairman flagged the substandard works being produced by contractors despite receiving huge sums, as was evident in the most recent case of the Linden roadworks. Former Finance Minister Winston Jordan, along with Brian Tiwari, arrested over sale of Kingston Wharf. Jordan was released and hospitalized. Following several allegations that were made against former Finance Minister Winston Jordan by government officials, Jordan was yesterday arrested in relation to a series of alleged fraudulent transactions of public funds and state properties estimated to value billions of Guyana dollars. According to the police, the first transaction is in relation to the alleged sale and vesting of the state's largest wharf facilities at Kingston, Georgetown, valued approximately $40 million, but was reportedly sold for a mere $500,000. It is alleged that the purchaser, BK Marines Limited, only paid $100,000, and Jordan issued a vesting order passing title to the purchaser without the payment of any further sum of monies. It was also reported that Jordan fell ill and was later taken to a private hospital for a suspected stroke. Meanwhile, principal of BK Inc., Brian Tiwari, was also called in for questioning in relation to prime waterfront properties in Kingston in which BK reportedly breached its contractual obligations. Government to spend $136 million for half-mile stretch of road at Lima Sands. The Ministry of Public Works will be spending some $136 million for 800 meters of road currently being constructed within the Lima Sands community on the Essequibo Coast Region 2. An 800-meter stretch is only half a mile, and it means that each meter will cost approximately $170,000. The cost was given by the region's vice chairman, Mr. Humes Udit. Works on the half-mile stretch reportedly commenced last month and is said to be only the first phase of a new road in Lima Sands. The contract was awarded to S. Jagmohan and Supplies. According to Udit, the specifications of the project will see the construction of a 20 feet wide, 800 meters of asphalted road. Time check for you, 12 hours 8. We will return with more news shortly after the break.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
It's Christmas at Survival Supermarket this season, and every shopper can be a winner. With every $5,000 you spend, you can earn a chance to win our grand prize of one of 2 Nissan Leaf cars or one of 19 fabulous consolation prizes. Shop at any Survival locations and win big this Christmas. The promotion runs from November 16th to December 31st, 2021. Shop Price Smart with Survival for all your shopping needs. See our Facebook page for details.
My name is Amrita Koshal, and we now return with your main newscast in detail. The Guyana Human Rights Association has called for a united front by civil society organizations in pressing the government for real electoral reforms and not those being proposed by the Attorney General Chambers. The GHRA made the comments in response to remarks by Attorney General Anil Nanlal regarding the status of the organization, among other issues. The GHRA recently said that reforming GCOM and the implementation of single-seat constituencies should be the priorities if the government is really serious about amending the Representation of the People Act. 2 weeks ago, the government released draft amendments to the Act, which is laced with draconian penalties for electoral malpractice and also a most controversial proposal to break up Region 4 into 4 sub-districts. Since unveiling the proposals, political parties and civil society grouping have hammered the proposed amendments, calling on the administration to withdraw them. In other news, we now tell you the 3 individuals who allegedly attempted to bribe a policeman last Saturday at the Golden Grove Police Station, East Bank, Demerara, were on Thursday granted bail when they appeared at the Diamond Magistrates Court. 34-year-old Vishal Munilal, a fraud accused, his female relative, 25-year-old Kuluwati Munilal, and 26-year-old Diodari Udit all appeared on Thursday before Principal Magistrate Judy Latchman. They were charged with corrupt transactions at the Golden Grove Police Station. The transaction was to allegedly bribe an investigating officer with $700,000 for Munilal's freedom. Munilal at the time was detained for allegedly committing fraud by selling unsuspecting customers' properties that did not belong to him. The Ministry of Housing is currently building the roundabout which will connect the Sheriff Mandela Road to the new bypass route to Eccles, East Bank, Demerara. The project is being constructed at a tune of $146.7 million by Junior Sami Guyana Inc. The project commenced on August 30th this year and is expected to be completed by December 24th, 2021. According to the Minister of Housing, Colin Crowell, the roundabout will facilitate the flow of heavy traffic between Mandela Avenue and the new 4-lane highway expansion through South Rheinveld. This will also ensure minimum disruption to traffic on Mandela and Aubrey Barker roads. The roundabout will also minimize the traffic buildup associated with the traffic lights at major intersections. Social Services Ministry to set up justice centers countrywide for battered, disabled women. The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, in partnership with Guyana Council of Organizations for Persons with Disabilities and UNICEF, have intensified efforts to help persons with disabilities, particularly those suffering from domestic violence. The initiative kickstarted with the launching of a workshop on Wednesday, which focused on gender-based violence for young women with disabilities. Minister of Human Services, Dr. Vindya Prasad, said no effort would be spared to help vulnerable persons. She said the 914 hotline, which has been in existence for more than a year, and an app, iMatter, that would soon be launched, will provide another avenue for victims to report domestic violence. The minister explained that justice centers would be launched across the country so that services can be readily accessible. And now time for your COVID-19 update. An unvaccinated 32-year-old man from Region 6 who contracted COVID-19 has died. As a result, the country's COVID-19 death toll has moved to 998. 76 new cases were recorded, taking the total number of confirmed cases to 38,027. 18 patients are admitted into the ICU, 54 persons in institutional isolation, 1,067 in home isolation, and 2 in institutional quarantine. To date, a total of 35,891 persons have recovered from the virus. We now turn your attention to page 7 of the Kaieteur News, dedicated to being blunt. Police stats indicate that bandits are busier on Saturdays and in the afternoons. Thank God for small mercies. The street bandits are giving Guyanese a break during the week, while elected and selected bandits are operating daily and 24/7. Some of our leaders, the crooked and greedy ones, happen to be among the full-time bandits in the land. My name is Amrita Koshal, and this was your main newscast. We now return with a rebroadcast of the Glenn Law Show.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465